Today's guest is an experienced editorial and commercial photographer whose beautiful interior and still life work has appeared in the pages of top UK publications, brands, lifestyle and advertising imagery. With a degree in editorial photography from the University of Brighton and an early career assisting in London, Holly has spent the last 2 decades building a successful freelance business. Now, based on the Isle of Wight, with a purpose-built studio at the bottom of her garden, I'm very excited to talk about that. She continues to shoot across the Isle of Wight and in London for clients like Ideal Home, Ocado Magazine, Guardian Labs, and many small brands across the Isle of Wight. Her creative eye, technical ability, and collaborative spirit make her a favourite among designers, stylists, and publishers alike. I'm delighted to be talking with Holly Jolliffe. Hello, Holly.
Hello, Emma. Really nice to see you.
Thank you so much for coming along. So, I know you from when I was at Woman in Home before I became home editor, I believe. When I wrote that you've been a photographer for two decades, I was like, you can't possibly have been around for 2 decades.
Well, it would be 25 years ago, I guess.
Literally, and it's quite mad how that. And I remember the shoot I did with you before I left Woman in Home, and it's really random as well. This is going to be such a random thing to say, but.
Was it assisting or shooting?
We were shooting in a house. It was in London, and you had this really beautiful top on that had like a little tie, like a little button at the back, and it was this really beautiful fabric. And I commented on it, and you said, "My mum made this for me," and I was like, "Oh my God, I can make clothes. I want to make this top," and it really stuck in my mind. It's such a random thing to stick in your mind.
That's a pretty good memory. Well, my mum is still making me tops. In fact, I should have put one on today. So yeah, nothing much has changed. But yeah, that's going back a long way, isn't it? That's
really long way. It's funny the things you remember from shoots, like the random lunches you have, or just people. It's always that sort of thing. But so you studied photography. How did you kind of get into did you know what kind of photography you wanted to do? What got you your first foot in the door?
I think I've always been quite sort of like narrow. I kind of knew where I wanted to head. So towards the end of my degree, I started shooting more interiors, and my final project was working in sort of lots of old family homes, still life kind of interior work. So I knew that's where I wanted to head, but it kind of became obvious, I guess, towards the end of my course that I wasn't going to be getting a great deal of help beyond the degree finishing. And so I thought I needed to organise work experience for myself, basically, and quite quickly as the years are running out. So I got in touch with what was then BBC Good Homes magazine and spent, I think, maybe 2 weeks up in White City in the office doing a lot of filing transparencies back in. That's kind of,
Yes.
And then as my time was coming to an end, I thought, I'm just going to have to say, I want to go on a shoot. I just want to go on a shoot. I can't leave this opportunity without meeting one photographer. And they invited me along to a shoot with Lucinda Simmons, who you'll remember.
Oh, yes.
So it would have been, I think it would have been a studio shoot then, because people weren't using location houses so much, I don't think. And yeah, she had a full-time assistant. And then from that one day I spent with her, I got a week's work experience directly with her, and she took me on as her second assistant.
Wow. Straight off the bat.
So straight off the bat, I mean, I don't know who has a second assistant these days. It's like, or even full-time, any full-time assisting work. I guess there must be some photographers, but then it was quite common, and her husband were so busy. I mean, I've never before or since met anybody that worked as hard as those two. And it was baptism of fire, but it was absolutely incredible training. Shooting every day, they were. Every day.
That's
back
amazing.
and forth. Yeah, you just can't even imagine it, can you? Back and forth to the lab overnight, changing over the gear in the studio, back out again, up to Oxford, locations all over the place.
That's why she needed a second assistant.
Yeah, absolutely. Then Emma, the other girl that was there, she moved on and went into millinery. And so I took over her first assisting job. And I was with them for about 3.5 years, I think, which was such hard work, but amazing. A lot of carrying gear around.
Yeah.
With big packs and hard work. But and then I freelance assisted for probably another 2 years, working for loads and loads of different photographers, which again was brilliant. And then just had to take my kind of tentative steps into.
Yeah. Do you think I think people listening who aren't in this world might be surprised how long people have to assist for. I know when I say stylists have to assist for a good 2 to 3 years before they're ready to kind of take small steps into doing smaller jobs. You kind of really
Yeah.
have to build up your knowledge, and it's such massive industry. So do you think like most photographers have to take that long? There's a need for it.
No, I think I took probably quite a long-winded approach. I'm probably more old-fashioned now. I can't imagine like sort of a 20-year-old now wanting to do that, but I still think it was the most incredible training. And because you get to understand all of the, because I was sort of in-house with them, really, I was also doing bookkeeping, looking after the studio, all sort of aspects of the business I was involved in. I was like, I spent more time with them than I did, my family or partner or anybody. So I don't know whether it's strictly necessary to spend 5 years, 5.5 years assisting, but I wouldn't change it because it puts you right in the right place, doesn't it? You're working with other assistants, your style assistants, and then that's how you're going to get your first work. And you just have such a broad understanding really of how it all works. So yeah, I think it was great.
So many people that it kind of, that's how you have to network to do this, anything within this
Yeah.
industry. So you meet a lot of people.
And it's those contacts, isn't it? I mean, I still work with Louise, for example, and we used to test together back when she was an assistant too. So yeah, all those people I knew. It's good. It was a good training.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. You live on the Isle of Wight now. How do you make work on the Isle of I did a shoot on the Isle of Wight a long time ago. It was an upside down house because this woman had a house that was it was like a bungalow, but it was 2 floors. And when you were upstairs, the views were incredible. It was such a beautiful space.
Yeah, there are a few like that actually. Yeah.
And we went in, I was pregnant actually. I was pregnant. Oh my goodness. Here's another story. I was pregnant with my second daughter. My first daughter, like I was at Woman and Home. So we made it into a travel feature. So I stayed in a hotel on the Isle of Wight. So we got that for free. So we didn't have to pay that.
Oh,
My daughter, who was probably 1.5 at the time, smeared her nappy cream all over a silk chair in this fancy hotel. They were at re-up.
beautiful.
But oh my goodness.
Good memories.
But it was
So
March.
obviously you take kids to work.
Not doing that again. And now I take her and she assists me. Different now, she's 21.
People often say, "I'll just bring her along." I know you've got no idea.
But I remember it being very cold, but very beautiful. Like we were walking along the beaches with all our coats on, and it's a really special place.
It is a really beautiful place. I do feel, I do feel very lucky to be here. I mean, it's where I'm from, which is why I've come back here. I don't know that it would be a very good career decision to move quite so far out of London. But, I make it work really because I have a good support network. I try and keep sort of shoots maybe 2-3 a week locally, so that's kind of manageable with getting on top of editing and everything. And there are a lot of businesses down here. Actually, it's been a great place to network. It's kind of like starting again, networking wise. Once you move out of London, but yeah, it's a lovely place. It does make you think, being able to at the end of the day and all those kind of things are special, aren't they?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of photographers I know who move way out of London because they just would rather travel a bit further to shoots so that when they come home, they're in a beautiful place and at the weekend, got gorgeous, just space and scenery and all of that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a different sort of lifestyle. And certainly with kids, I guess that was probably my primary reason for moving out of London. Me and my husband always shared places, living in shared flats and things. And when I was expecting Frida, there was just no way that was going to work. He's a set builder, so his hours were crazy. And I have, family here, which make it possible.
Yeah. Your husband's a set builder. That's rather handy.
Yeah, so you'd know Rich probably. We worked at Andy Knight's for many years, and he's a partner now. So one of the team, one of the 4 guys that run Andy Knight's.
So do you still work? You still work around London?
Yeah, occasionally. Yeah, I'd probably say 80% of my work is down here on the South Coast, and then I do pop up for sort of house features and bits and bobs when so I stay with friends or wherever. Really, I don't generally travel. I would travel the same day as a shoot if it was South Coast, but not if it's London. It's just too, with a ferry and various other things thrown in, it's too risky. Yeah. So I would come up the night before.
Yeah. I just did a shoot in Warsaw, which is just for people listening who don't know, the Warsaw that's just near Birmingham, not the other one.
Yes.
And it should be
No.
3 hours, but it took me 6 hours to get there. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, I always got
Yeah.
up the night before because, especially when it's hot like this, it's like I want to be able to pack all my props up, get to the location, and then like the hotel or whatever, and just stay somewhere, get a shower, start the day fresh.
It's super stressful otherwise, isn't it?
It's a nightmare. My husband last week drove to Birmingham for a meeting and then came back the same day. And I'm like, I don't know how you do that. I think I find driving quite monotonous, and I just don't think I could do 6 hours
Oh,
driving a day
well, and
and
with a
function.
shoot as well, a shoot uses
Yeah,
up all of your energy. And
yeah. I want to be fresh faced, but also you only need one little accident and you don't turn up to the shoot on
oh,
time.
I know that's it, one traffic jam, and then you're like, oh.
Yeah,
That just reminded me of a job actually for Ideal Home I did many years ago, and I thought that this when I was living in London. I thought I would be okay to drive to Manchester, shoot for the entire day, and then drive home again afterwards. And at the end of the shoot, I just realised there was absolutely no way I was going to be able to drive home. So I had to call up Rich, and he came up, bless him, on the train and drove me home. So
that's
you
sweet.
live and learn.
I've done that before where I've got a shoot next week in Nottingham, and I just know I'm a person who needs to stop regularly. But when I've done shoots really far away, I've been like, I'm just going to stop for half an hour and have a quick power nap before I drive again. And it will take me hours. And I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to find a 50 quid travel lodge because I need to just sleep and start fresh the next morning and drive straight through. But yeah, if the budget allows,
You
or
learn these things as you get older.
exactly, exactly. Yeah. So you've got friends that you stay with, so you can still come into London and do shoots in London.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not London is manageable, definitely. Anything above Birmingham, it's like find somebody else. There's plenty of photographers up that way. That's my cut off as a southerner. Or maybe I should put that on my website.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. When they said Nottingham, I went, Nottingham? Don't you want to come down to London? Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. It's lovely here.
exactly. So you've shot for magazines and you shot for small businesses. So what would you say have like what are some of the shoots that have stood out for you? What are some maybe key turning points for you? Like when did you know it was time to going from an assistant to an actual photographer? How did you know? And then tell me some of the fun bits.
Well, I suppose when you start becoming such a good assistant, then you kind of, you feel like I need a new challenge, really.
Mm.
Lovely Pope, who I used to assist, he very gently, very politely suggested it was probably time I moved on. Presented me with a lovely Zarges box to put all my gear in and a bottle of champagne. I was like, all right. So being pushed like a fledgling out the nest or something. Oh,
Wow.
yeah, that's such a lovely man. So much respect for him, and he was so lovely to work for. Anyway, so yeah, it was his gentle suggestion. It was probably time for me to move on, and so I got myself a job 1 day a week working in Baldwin's, which is that health food shop on Walworth Road. So that was just like a kind of carryover job, and then just off you go, start testing, start going to see magazines. That was back in the days of carrying a portfolio around.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I can't really. It's too long ago to really remember exactly, but I probably just started off with the small editorial jobs, and then you're in the right place, aren't you? Once you're doing that, and then off it goes. Living, etc. That was probably one of my most proudest jobs. I did an outdoor like such a feature, and it rained, which was pretty stressful. But
No.
yeah, that was a great opportunity to sort of get. They were 2 3 day shoots in blocks up in Oxfordshire, and that was all on set. So no, they weren't using locations at that time. So that was quite a lighting challenge. And there was a budget for lights and assistants and all that kind of thing. So that was amazing. And then locally, I think probably architects. Those are the jobs that I love to get, just because you can spend a bit more time kind of quietly and carefully getting angles and things. It's not such a rush like holiday lets and yeah. So yeah, I enjoy that kind of work as well.
I was talking to a friend, a stylist friend, and he was saying how he really wants to. He finds himself in Italy quite a lot, and I was saying how when you look on Airbnb for places to go and stay, when as a stylist you or as anyone as a punter, you want to look at somewhere that is different from home and is going to kind of fill your cup. It's going to make you feel lovely. And so many people just snap their holiday lets and don't put any effort into it.
No, standing on top of the wardrobe shops and things like that.
Yeah, it's just like, just put a little bit of styling, get a stylist in, get them to do it and shoot it properly. That money that you outlay for that one day will come back tenfold if
Yeah.
you get proper photography, but they just don't see it. It's very frustrating.
Tell me about it.
Have you got any? I always ask stylists if they have any shoot disasters, if they've ever had things that go wrong. I set fire to a shoot location one time. I've had a friend who had to take some fabrics across on a boat and all sorts.
Yes, not loads of disasters considering it's like 20 odd years. Fire has been has been known to happen.
You too?
I think 2 chimney fires. Yeah. Um, got the wrong gels. I think that might have been on Job Living, etc. Actually, I got big HMI lights for outside. I bought the wrong type of gel, not the heat-proof ones. That was a disaster. Small fire in that case, easily put out. Definitely getting to shoot sometime. When I was just learning to drive around London, I had some like premium disasters, like crossing bridges, right, trying to find somewhere to park the car, like in East London or something, and then realizing I'm in South Bank. That was before sat nav, though. To be fair,
Yeah. I don't think I could do shoots without a sat nav. I can't imagine driving to a shoot on my own with a map, which is how I used to do it pre sat nav.
goodness,
No way.
how was that even possible?
You just have to pull over every 5 minutes. And I used to write on a sheet of paper every turning.
Yeah.
Like I picked my brother up from,
Yeah.
where did he come? He came across, he'd been traveling and he came back to somewhere like Ramsgate or somewhere really random. And I wrote all the turnings on the motorway that I had to take on a piece of paper, forgetting that it was going to be dark.
I think
So
I've done.
it took me hours to get there and pick him up with his snowball bag and all that. Really show him.
Kids today don't know they're born with their sat navs.
They really don't. I do remember another stylist once showing me she'd got I went to a press event and she was the assistant of one of my friends and she got her iPhone out and showed me that you can put a map on an iPhone. This is at the very beginning. I was like, I don't care what it costs. I have to have one of them. It was absolute game changer. So what kind of things have you been shooting recently in the Isle of Wight?
Oh, well, yeah, like I said, it is definitely holiday let season. So I've got a whole big list of updates. I do quite a lot of work for classic cottages here.
Nice.
And then sort of other private people that get in touch. So this time of year when actually probably a couple of weeks ago, really gardens were at their peak, roses and all that sort of thing going on. Nobody really wants a rainy holiday let shoot, as you can imagine. So yeah, I'm constantly weather watching like this the whole time.
Yeah.
And I've got some nice things coming up in the studio. Christmas things, of course, product shoots. Just had a load of new cushions and lampshades delivered this morning from a small sort of coastal homeware company. So fit that in. So yeah, all sorts really.
Tell me about your garden studio. So people send you products to shoot.
So that happens sometimes. But people also quite like coming along and hanging out for the day. It's 8 meters by 6 meters. Probably Rich built it for me 4 or 5 years ago. And it's just, easy commute at the end of the garden.
Yeah.
Not really. I don't use it sort of so much in daylight space. Generally, everything's kind of lit in there, but I've got lots of different backdrops, loads of kind of ceramics and different props and things, as you can imagine. Once you start going down that route, it's like cupboards and cupboards of it, and a little stove. And it's just a very nice place to be. You must come and visit one time.
I was just thinking that. What can I shoot?
Next time you're on the Isle of Wight.
Yeah, I haven't been to the Isle of Wight.
Shoot anything. You don't even have to shoot anything. You just come and have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very nice to walk up the garden and shut the door. And I only just got Wi-Fi in there actually, because actually it's quite nice to not be contactable and you can just concentrate on what you need to do, light the fire if it's cold. It's good. I feel very lucky.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. What's your favorite thing to shoot?
What a question. All of it. I think variety is good.
Yeah, I was thinking, I don't know how I would answer that.
No, it's hard. I mean, I sort of shy away from doing anything with people related as much, beyond people in interiors. I don't mind that so much. But I guess probably interiors still super exciting and walking in an amazing space and thinking about how you're going to make it work. So yeah, I'm gonna go curious.
Yeah, I've been following your Instagram, obviously, avidly, and your lighting is so beautiful. It's just like, when you look at a picture, you can just go, "Oh,
Thank you very
love that." Like, really, like your really sleek and modern pictures. Just like, I think that's what people miss when they're like, if they're outside of the business, that you hire a professional photographer because their lighting just elevates a space and a shot like on another level. Like, I know when I've done shoots and I've had an idea of how I want something to look, and I've styled it and I'm going, oh yeah, that looks good. And then the photographer takes a picture and you see it, but with the light and the depth and everything, and you're like,
Yes, yeah.
this looks so much better than I thought. I love that. That's the best bit. I love that.
Oh, what a nice feeling. It's still a nice feeling after all these years.
Yeah, exactly. Have you got any shoots that you dream of doing?
I would love in the future, at some stage, to do a bit more traveling and shooting. I'd love somebody to send me like somewhere in Europe and do a whole bunch of house shoots, sort of traveling around maybe the French countryside or something. So, if you know anyone who's commissioning, that would
Wow.
be my ideal. Yeah. It's not something that's kind of very doable in current sort of life situation, but maybe in, another 10 years if I'm still doing it. That would be lovely though. I have done a few like overseas houses in the past and I do quite enjoy that way of working, traveling about. So yeah, that
Sounds
would be awesome.
dreamy.
Yeah. Do you want to come?
I was going to say, especially if you could just leave the husband and the kids and the dog at home. Yeah, I'm there.
Maybe that's what's appealing.
Yeah.
Just like
I
walking away with just a camera, wandering around like, some nice
markets and
countryside.
yeah,
So yeah, shooting some beautiful houses. Yeah, that would be absolute ideal. One
yeah,
day.
that sounds amazing. What what would you say to someone who wants to follow in your footsteps and shoot interiors, like be a professional photographer?
Yeah, oh my goodness. Well, there's an awesome way to earn a living, that's for sure. Um, these days, things are probably quite different, aren't they? I mean, assisting, like we were saying, is just such an incredible route in. If you can find someone in to go and shadow, even just work experience, try and find the exact kind of niche that you're interested in. If it's interiors, then go and find the best people that you can contact. These days, you can find people a lot easier, can't we? With
Yeah,
Instagram and social media, that everybody's there to be found. So you can find somebody in your area, offer to do work experience, and then you just got to create opportunities. Really find stylists and writers that you can pair up with, shoot things on spec, get a portfolio together, and you just got to keep going. You've just got to be a bit single-minded about it, really.
yeah, it's quite you have when you're freelance, you have to be very proactive, and I don't think it was so difficult a few years ago, say 5, 10 years ago, but now I think it's very competitive, photography and stylist, and just being freelance in general. You have to really get off your butt and get on with like the phone calls and the emails and the connecting.
No, you really do. Just this year in particular, like it has been quieter for sure, but I have become quite complacent, I think, and just kind of sitting back and expecting the same people to just keep the work rolling. That's just, you just can't expect that anymore, I don't think. And so this, personally, I've done a lot of pushing this year, a lot of pinpointing, along the South Coast people, not just locally, getting out and networking, making all of those connections are so important. And yeah, just got to keep reminding people that you're there all the time in a gentle way.
You're just saying everything I always share. It's like you've got get out the house, go get on with things, like go and speak to people.
Yeah.
You don't have to ask them for work, just make a connection, talk to people, tell them what you do, find out what they do.
That's it. And checking in with people you're already working with as well. I wasn't really doing that enough, I don't think. If a few months go by, get in touch, see where people are at, what are they thinking about their next kind of season of advertising or whatever, and come up with some ideas and offer to meet up and chat through things, even if it doesn't result in work. You just have to keep putting yourself in people's way in that way. And actually it does, often pan out
Yeah,
to get some work. So yeah, I'm certainly learning that all over again this year.
you are not alone. So, before I ask my last question, I just want to tell people that they can find you at Holly Jolliffe, and I'm going to spell that for you. So it's Holly and then JOLLIFFE.co.uk, and the same, it's at Holly Jolliffe Photo on Instagram, so people can find you. You're also on Inside Stylist, so they can find your a mini profile over there. So mini profile and portfolio. So if people want to get in touch with you and shoot with you, or if they need some help with
Yeah, for sure.
their Airbnbs and things, then they should get in touch with you, definitely. And my last question is always, what's next for you? Have you got anything in the pipeline at the moment that you're working on?
Yeah, absolutely. Been a big year of sort of widening what I offer really. So back in March, I did a video course, 2-day video course up in London, which was amazing. And I really want to, I mean, for years I've been passing video work on to other people and losing out on jobs because I don't offer moving image. So I'm really trying to crack that this year. So I've been working with some local designer makers. I'm making short films. Also thinking about how to bring that into my interiors work, which is really exciting. I'm
Mm.
enjoying it. The brain cogs up. So much to learn. Oh goodness. But yeah, so that's a whole new thing for me this year, which I'm fitting in as and when I can. I'm sort of getting there slowly. Courses, offering courses. I've been asked again so many times over the years if I will run courses. So I'm currently putting something together for kind of late autumn, early winter, down here on the island. It's sort of small product photography and styling. That's the kind of the main idea about using a location house so people can come along and do some kind of teaching, and then they get the opportunity to do some shooting as well. So that's also coming soon.
That sounds
That's quite
amazing.
exciting. Yeah, it's just it's been bubbling away in my back of my brain for so long, and it's like, come on, Holly, get these things actually out there. So that, and then also organising a sort of a local networking session as well with another woman who does marketing. We're going to run some kind of sessions for creatives and freelancers, just again to make sure people know who's out there and chat about what's working, what's not locally. Yeah, so all sorts of things. At the moment, it feels like a lot of chat, but it will kind of
Yeah.
it is coming to fruition. Hopefully,
Yeah. That's how it starts, isn't it? You have to have the chats to get to the next stage.
so,
That sounds amazing though. How are you finding video? Are you loving it?
I sort of am loving it. It's. I mean, you kind of feel like you're part of the way there with understanding, obviously, about composition, lighting, the editing process and things. Actually, I mean, it is a really different way of thinking than still photography. Obviously, I'm very much a stills photographer, but I'm enjoying the challenge, and yeah, I'm happy each time I make a little film. Just learn so much. So it's a learning by doing situation. So I'm kind of offering my services to some guinea pigs at the moment. Doing another one Monday. Jeepers, the editing takes a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
I guess you speed up maybe as you get better.
You do. I think like I'm not doing the kind of editing that you're doing, but just from editing videos like this, I've learned so much this year. I started doing like these as YouTube video podcasts in January. And every now and again, I'll learn how to kind of edit one little bit and I'll be going, oh, how do I do this? And it does speed it up. But like we were saying before we pushed record, you try and perfect one thing and you'll spend hours just trying to get the sound right or the not the lighting as much. It's just a technical part of the editing process. And you spend so long doing it and you're like, it just sounds like it did at the beginning. I could have just put it out as it is and not wasted all that time. But yeah, you do get faster.
I hope so, because currently it'd be like, uh, I don't know quite how you'd actually make any money out of it. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just sort of slowly adding bits and bobs I need as I go. I know very much about what I want to achieve. So, that's a good start. And yeah, I'm getting more confident. It's a confidence thing, really, isn't it? When you
Yeah.
start something new, when you've been doing something you know so well for so long, and it's quite intuitive. This is not so intuitive. I'm going to have to think. I don't know. So remember this, remember that, and yeah, and learning all the new software and things. So yeah, big year for learning.
Yeah, good for you though. That's exactly where things are
Yeah,
going,
why
isn't
not?
it? So brilliant to be able to offer
You
that.
got to keep pushing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, totally. Well, thank you very much. I'm very impressed with your what's coming next. Usually people go, "Oh, I'm just doing this," but you're
Oh
like,
well,
and what's going on?
you've got to actually do it though, right?
Yeah, well, you're accountable now. And when they're out, I will share them because I will see because I follow you, so I'll
Yeah,
see when it's out.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
It's been lovely to chat with you. Thank you for this is a very interesting recording because the time delay is very difficult for like both of us, I think. So thank you for bearing with. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, good luck with that. That's okay. It's been
Yeah.
really, really lovely to see you. Thanks for the opportunity.
What did you say about editing? This will take me 15 hours.
I don't even want to know 9 hours later. Hopefully there's something useful in there.
No, it's been brilliant. Thank you so much, Holly.